I've had to learn some very hard lessons over the last 5 years as a freelance videographer and editor, but despite this, I've also been relatively successful and worked with some really sick clients and made a lot of money. So in this video, I'm gonna give you the most valuable 22 lessons that I've learned that you honestly can't really find on YouTube, because this stuff just comes from experience, and lucky for you, I failed for you, so I'm gonna make you way more money, save you way more money, and also help you work with some really sick clients and actually live the life that you wanna live. So let's get into it. Lesson number 1. I used to see people who were way worse than me make way more money than me, and I assumed that this was just because they were working more than me. So I started to take pretty much every job that I could just because I thought it would make me more money. But what really happened is I started working with terrible clients, charging less, working more, and making less. Like, it was terrible. And then I realized the people who were making more than me were just working with better clients. And the crazy thing is, they only had a few of them, while I was over here with 20 different clients, texting me all the time, emailing me all the time, blowing up my phone. Like, it was just a terrible way to work and a terrible way to live. So lesson number 1 is start rejecting clients and watch your business explode. Saying yes to money right now is what is keeping you broke. There are millions of people who can pay you, but most of them shouldn't. You need to set a new rule for yourself. You are not allowed to work with bad clients or poor clients literally ever again. Unless you're brand new to this, then, take what you can get. You obviously need to start somewhere and then build up. 5 great clients is better than 20 terrible clients, and the quality of your clients will determine 90% of your success as a freelancer. Lesson number 2. When I started freelancing, my goal was to land the biggest client possible because I thought it would make me the most amount of money. And honestly, that's exactly what happened. But what also happened is my other clients saw this and they paid me more and respected me more. So lesson number 2 is you only need one big client. After that, the entire market respects you. Lesson number 3. My clients used to negotiate my rates a lot, but as my network grew, my availability shrunk. And when a client sees you're in demand, they're down to pay you more because you are a scarce asset. And if they really like you, they might even get pissed when you're unavailable and send you messages like this. If you get a message like this, it's a very good sign that you can increase your prices with that client. So similar to lesson number 2, lesson number 3 is that freelancing is kind of like dating. When you have a lot of options, you just gain more respect. I know it's kind of sad, but that's just how it works. I don't make the rules. I'm just the messenger. Don't get mad at me. All right, lesson number 4. I have a buddy who is a very unique guy. And he's probably like the most happy, magnetic person I've ever met. And he's pretty good at his job, but he's not even like amazing. But the guy is always booked. Like, it is ridiculous. And I started wondering why this is the case. And I realized that people just love working with this guy. He's just a ton of fun to be around. So lesson number 4 is to be good to work with. I've said this many times and I'll say it again. Being good to work with is arguably more important than actually being good at the job. All right, lesson number 5. A different friend of mine landed a pretty big client as one of his first clients ever. And when they started working together, he was charging really low. Over time, he got better and he increased his prices. However, he recently tried to increase his prices again and the client wasn't down. Mind you, this client is absolutely loaded and can damn well afford the rate he's asking, but he still won't pay it. So what's happening here? Did my friend hit a ceiling? Well, the client used to get him at $500 a day. Fast forward 2 years, and now my buddy is requesting a 2.5K day rate. Bro, that is a 5X increase, which in all fairness is kind of a lot. Now, if my friend would have started with the client at $1,000 a day or $1,250 a day, he probably would have hit that $2,500 day rate because it's only like a 2X increase, which is still kind of a lot and can be difficult to do, but it's way more doable than a 5X increase. So lesson number 5 is first impressions matter. The first quote you give a client is pretty much the price they value you at for good. All right, lesson number 6. Back in the days of sending cold DMs and emails, I would get frustrated because it seemed like no one wanted to pay me the rate that I was asking. And I realized that it was because I had no leverage. I was going to people in search of their money as opposed to people coming to me in search of my service. Like, do you see the flaw there? It is completely backwards. But sure enough, as time went by and clients started coming to me, no one really negotiated anymore. The most I've really gotten over the last couple of years is like, hey, is there any chance you could come down a little bit? And when that happens, I honestly pretty much just say no, like, sorry, I can't do that. And they pay me what I want. So lesson number 6 is you can charge astronomically higher rates when someone comes to you as opposed to you going to them. Now, yes, I do know, obviously you can't do this when you're just starting out, but once you develop a little portfolio and people start coming to you, or maybe you get some referrals, take advantage of this and don't be afraid to throw out some really big quotes. All right, lesson number 7, 8, and 9. A few years ago, I formed a little business collaboration with someone. I suppose you could call him a business partner. Now, he was a producer, so he would get us clients, manage projects, logistics, all that stuff. And I would execute the project. So I was actually doing them, shooting, editing, doing the actual job. Now, when I first started working with this guy, something felt a little off. I didn't fully trust him, but we did a few projects together and they went well, fully paid on time, everything was good. So I was like, all right, there's nothing wrong with this guy. Let's keep working. So we did just that. We kept working, we made some money together and everything was good. And over time, I started to become pretty good friends with this guy. I knew his family pretty well, his wife. I even saw him have a kid. Well, his wife have a kid. And I didn't literally watch it, but I was around working working with him during that time. So yeah, so over the course of 2 or 3 years, we built a pretty good relationship. But then as time went on, there started to be like a few late payments here and there. And then there was a time where there was no payment. And I wasn't super concerned because I fully trusted the guy at this time. And at this point, we had had plenty of successful projects together. So yeah, so I kind of got on him about it, and I was like hitting him up about it like quite often. But I still wasn't super concerned. So long story short, fast forward to today, I haven't heard from the guy in over a year, and he owes me over $35,000. So lesson number 7 is your money is not your money until it is in your bank account. Just because you did a project does not mean that you have that money, and you need to try to get paid upfront as much as possible, which I know is not always doable depending on the client, but yeah, just always try if you can. And for those of you thinking like, oh, Justin, like, why didn't you just have a contract? It's like, bro, believe me, I did. Like, I don't think you guys understand. People can just not pay you. Like, what are you gonna do? You gonna go sue them? Like, bro, are you gonna go spend $50K to sue someone over $35K? And then still, guess what? Even if you win, they can still just not pay you. Like, people can just not pay you. Like, it's really not that hard. I know it sounds crazy and it's like honestly really messed up, but it's like really not that hard to get away with, which is crazy, but you need to be aware of this. I don't think you guys understand how expensive it is to actually sue someone. Even if you win, all you have is a piece of paper that says, congratulations, this guy owes you money. And guess what? They can still just not pay you. Like, they can literally be uncollectible. Like, it's insane. I know, it's crazy. Boom, now you're down all these attorney fees as well, which ironically may or may not be exactly what I'm doing right now. But I don't want to say too much in the rare case that this guy is watching this video, because yeah, I don't want him to know my moves. Maybe I am, maybe I'm not. So yeah, lesson number 7 is your money is not your money until it is in your bank account. Lesson number 8, trust your gut. If you get a weird feeling about someone the first time you work with them, do not work with them. And lesson number 9 is contracts really don't mean shit. Like, they really don't. Like, it doesn't really matter. I'm not gonna lie. Like, yeah, you should have them all the time, but bro, that shit is not bulletproof. Trust me. Honestly, bro, there is way more to that story and many other valuable lessons. So maybe I'll make a long, in-depth video about that. But yeah, let me know if you want to see that. Guys, really quick, I'm building a platform for editors and videographers where you can work directly with me to learn how to make dope videos and make a ton of money as well. I'm talking like 10K, 20K a month. Guys, this is gonna be the best platform on the internet for editors and videographers who are actually serious about making this their career. So if you're interested in this, click the first link in the description to sign up for the waitlist. I'm only launching to a limited number of spots because I can't help everyone. It would just be a mess. So yeah, first come, first serve. First link in the description. And in the case you need help ASAP and you want to work with me one-on-one, click the second link in the description. I can help you with editing, sound design, finding clients, getting clients, messaging clients, all that stuff. And yeah, second link in the description. All right, lesson number 10 and 11. A few years ago, I was in Vegas and I was working on this team. And on the last night of the project, there were like these crazy storms. Everyone's flights were getting delayed for the following day. And everyone was like complaining. They're like, oh, like this sucks. And I overheard someone say something like, it was like, hey bro, like it's all good. Like that's why we got the travel day rate, you know? And I heard that and I was like, what? Like travel day rate? And so I got to talking with this guy and he was like a veteran in the game. I was still pretty young at the time. And come to find out, it's not only very reasonable, but it is industry standard for you to charge half of your day rate for a travel day or off day. So lesson number 10 is to always have a fee for travel days and off days. And lesson number 11 is talk to people in your industry and ask them what they charge. You would be surprised. 90% of people are gonna be happy to talk with you about this. Like worst case scenario, someone's gonna be like, nah, like I don't really wanna talk about it. But yeah, like I said, most people are gonna be happy to talk about this because this is stuff that everyone is curious about, but no one really openly talks about, but everyone's thinking about it. So yeah, you'll find that most people are gonna be super down to talk with you about that stuff. So yeah, talk to people in your industry, ask them what they're charging, and then, you know, price yourself and position yourself accordingly, whether it's like, you know, above or below or whatever. All right, lesson number 12. A few years ago when I started working with DJ Snake, we had this little tour run for New Year's Eve. And it was like 3 or 4 shows, so some pretty good money. But unfortunately, the day before I was supposed to fly out, he got sick and he had to cancel all the shows. And I remember I was so pissed because I had just turned down like 3 other jobs to do this run. And now it's canceled and I'm losing all this money. It's like great. Anyway, so when I got the news about the cancellation, at the time I drove a 2001 Tahoe. Yeah, humble beginnings, I know. But yeah, so I got in the car and I slammed the door shut so hard because I was so pissed that I literally broke off like the entire panel of the door handle. Like I literally just ripped it off. And funny enough, right after this happened, I'm sitting in the car and I get this text that they're still gonna pay me. So I was like, oh, nice. I guess I just broke my car door for like no reason. But also I hit up one of the jobs that I turned down and they brought me on last minute. So I ended up making money from that too. So yeah, it was a good weekend and I cashed out nice. So everything was good. But come to find out, in addition to travel days and off days, it's also very reasonable and industry standard to have something that's called a kill fee. It's basically where if a client cancels on you in under X X amount of days, then they have to pay you. Lucky for me, Snake is a great client and they paid me without me even having a kill fee. So yeah, I got lucky. So yeah, lesson number 12, make sure your clients know that you have a kill fee if they cancel. You can set it up where if they cancel in under 7 days, then they pay you in full, or under 14 days, then they pay you 50%, or however you want to do it, like 30 days, 60 days, whatever makes sense for you and your industry. All right, lesson number 13. As I previously mentioned, I used to get frustrated when my clients wouldn't pay my rate. And then one night I just had like this pure light bulb moment. And I thought to myself, why don't people negotiate with the cashier at Walmart? Like seriously, have you ever seen that? It's like, no, that would be insane. And then I realized people don't negotiate the price of products, but they do negotiate the price of services. Let that sink in. People don't negotiate the price of products. They negotiate the price of services. So here's what I did. I took the exact same service that I was already providing, but for all my new clients, I would package up the service with like a pitch deck or PDF and present it in a nice, pretty way that made it feel like a product, not a service. And then boom, after that, price objections were like pretty much a thing of the past. So lesson number 13 is to package up your service and present it as a product, because people don't negotiate the price of products, but they do negotiate the price of services. Lesson number 14, 15, and 16. So over my time as a freelancer, I've had the most success in the concert videography world. This is the niche that I started in, and it's still primarily what I do today. But a couple years ago, I wanted to try something new. So I tried to tap into the product video niche. I built a whole studio in my garage, opened a brand new LLC, spent weeks making like these banger demo videos, or what some people call spec ads. And I built an entire website and sent thousands of cold emails. Guess what happened? I completely failed. Why? Well, I was targeting mid-sized e-commerce brands, and I thought this was a great idea because these mid-sized e-com brands, A, had a lot of money, and B, all of them were just posting like these iPhone UGC style videos. So I thought, oh, this is a great opportunity to step into this market and, like make some noise. Well, I was dead wrong, because guess what? These mid-sized e-commerce brands didn't want these highly produced product videos. They just didn't want it. There was no demand. They had the money, but they would rather spend their money on iPhone UGC stuff because it's not just cheaper, but it literally just works better to sell e-commerce products. So lesson number 14 is make sure people actually want what you are selling. Don't try to sell meat to a vegan. They don't want it. And lesson number 15, when you're a beginner or you want to step into a new niche, don't niche down until you know it works. Test into the niche. I repeat, if you're a beginner, do not niche down. Test into the niche. You don't even know if it works yet. And bro, for the love of God, do not be like me and try to step into a market and make some noise by doing something different than everyone else is doing. Bro, just do what is already proven to work. And also, don't be like me and spend months and months of your life building a new LLC and website and spec ad examples and like all this stuff without even knowing if the niche will work. So lesson number 16 is find someone who's succeeding in a certain niche and just copy exactly what they're doing. Don't try to make up something new. And one more thing, it's not that the service that I was providing was flawed. It's that the market that I was targeting was flawed. The only brands buying those highly produced product videos are big brands who wanted them for like TV commercials, not mid-sized e-commerce brands. So what I should have done is gone after the bigger brands. But either way, that niche is not very AI resistant, if you ask me. So yeah, I'm kind of glad that I got out of it. All right, lesson number 17. I used to spend a lot of time on client work so the client would be impressed. But what I didn't realize is that I spent half the time on the project on like this small 5 to 10% improvement. And this is good because details do matter, but I realized my clients didn't even notice. They didn't know, they didn't care. They didn't even notice those details that I was spending so much time on. So lesson number 17 is you need to track your hours. Client work must be done in a timely manner. I call this gun to your head speed. You need to move like there is a gun to your head, while obviously still doing a good job, of course. But yeah, if it's 90% good enough for you, bro, it's probably good enough for the client. Spending half of your time on a project for a 5 to 10% improvement is not worth it, bro. It's going to eat up your time and it's going to add up like crazy. You can babysit projects later, like passion projects and demo reels and stuff like that. Or maybe you get a huge client that you really want to impress, then you can babysit that as well. But your day-to-day client work needs to be done in a timely manner. All right, lesson number 18. The way you say your price determines if people think it is up for negotiation or not. You need to stand on business when you say your price. If you say, can we do 1,000? Get ready for a negotiation. If you say, how's 1,000? Get ready for a negotiation. Remember, treat your service as a product. The price is the price. Take it or leave it. Buy it or don't buy it. So lesson number 18 is simply say the price. The price is $1,000. Not how is 1,000 or can we do 1,000 or what about 1,000? Like, no, none of that. Bro, just say the price. Also, don't text or email a price. Like, bro, that's dumb. Like, grow up. That's asking for an objection. All right, lesson number 19. Build the cost of your gear into your rate. Bro, cameras and lenses are expensive. If you look at a producer break down a budget on even like a small small or mid-sized production, bro, the cost of gear is literally a line item. Now, I wouldn't necessarily give the client like an itemized list of things or even tell them that the gear is built into the rate. They don't need to know. But when you're building your rate, take that into account. Think about like a single SSD. Depending on the type of work you do, bro, you can maybe fill that up in a day's worth of shooting. Boom, there goes 200 bucks. So lesson number 19, make sure to build the cost of your gear into your rate. All right, lesson number 20. So I have 3 whiteboards in this office and they all used to be entirely filled top to bottom with just all this stuff that I had to do. And one day I caught myself spending hours trying to make like the coolest looking email signature. And then I realized, what is this doing? Like, what, does this even matter? Like, yeah, maybe like a tiny little bit. Like, is this worth hours of my time? This is ridiculous. Is this actually making me money? Or is this actually making me better at making videos? And then I started looking at the whiteboards and I just saw like, bro, like all of this stupid shit. Like, bro, like what even, like none of this matters. And I literally just erased it all because none of it mattered. People like to feel productive. People don't like to actually be productive. They like to feel productive because to actually be productive, you have to do the things that you don't really want to do. So lesson number 20 is the magic you're looking for is in the work you're avoiding. I don't know who that quote's by, but it's fire. You need to simplify everything and do what actually matters now. If you're new to freelancing and you have no clients and you don't know where to start, break it down like this. What do you do? Edit, cool. Do you talk to the people who want what you do? No, you don't talk to these people? Okay, well, talk to them. Send messages, send emails, and only do one thing. Don't try to do 10 things at a time. Simplify everything and do one thing. All right, lesson number 21. If you have an LLC, which I would hope you do, hire a CPA just one time and have them set you up as an S-corp. Bro, I'm telling you, do not sleep on the S-corp. This will save you thousands and thousands of dollars every year on your taxes. But I'm not like a financial advisor or any of that stuff. I don't know if like I have to say that or something for YouTube, but yeah, lesson number 21, get set up as an S-corp. All right, lesson number 22. Now, this video has gotten really long, so I'm gonna keep this super short, and I'm actually gonna turn this into an entire new video where I tell the full story because it's kind of crazy. This was definitely one of the harder lessons for me to learn. But long story short, I got robbed when I was on tour. Our rental car got robbed, and I lost all of my gear. Laptops, hard drives, cameras, lenses, like all my stuff. It was like $15,000 worth of stuff. Yeah, so that sucked really, really bad. So lesson number 22 is have insurance. Bro, do not sleep on insurance. Don't, like, I'm telling you, bro, just get insurance. Like, please do it. Like, do it for me. Like, actually, it's not even that much. I think I pay like $300 a year now, maybe like $350. And it covers like up to like 30K worth of stuff. So for like all my camera stuff, I use Full Frame Insurance, by the way. Great company. If you want to hear this story in depth, let me know in the comments because it's honestly like a really crazy story and it like really, really sucked. But yeah, bro, get insurance. You don't want to mess around with that stuff. I'm exhausted. That is it. The best platform on the internet for editors and videographers is coming soon. I'm super excited. It's going to be insane. Like, actually, it's going to be so sick. Limited spots. Sign up for the waitlist. First link in the description. Or if you want to have a one-on-one call with me, go to the second link in the description. If you like this video and you made it this far, you will definitely like one of these. Thanks for watching. Follow me on Instagram at justin.james. And yeah, that's it. Peace.